Alrighty guys, welcome back to another LEGO Ninjago set review from BrickByBrick. And today we have set number 70593, the green NRG Dragon. Contains 567 pieces and, 5 minifigures. And this really nice dragon build, which we'll take a look at in a second. But we're going to start off with the two little side builds for the Sky Pirates. So, of the two little side builds, the smaller one is this little Sky Pirate camp, or whatever. Whatever it's trying to be. And this is a decent build, but not too impressive. And if we look in a little bit closer, you can see it's got a decent size to it, actually. Bigger than I was expecting, for sure. It's 6 by like 16, I think. So pretty significant size. This is the only Sky Pirate actual land terrain that they get in the whole, 2 waves of sets. Most of the wave was vehicle based. But they do have this little campfire. It's on a nice little rocky base, which is pretty cool. They have this little tower here. You can move this leaf aside, which it's nice to get that in rarer color. And then there's a barrel with 2 1x1 round tiles in there to represent coins or something. Some kind of treasure. And you can put that right back in. I like how they put a little stick piece there. And on the top, it's kind of got like this little turret built around. I like how they make it look kind of round, even though it really isn't connected at all. And just around the back, it doesn't look too bad because they use one of these rock pieces. And up here, the one thing that's kind of out of frame is this little Sky Pirate flag, which is stickered on both sides. And you can take your Sky Pirate figures, the 3 from this set, and set them all up around here. And you get a decent looking little area for them. And, 3 pirates on there. Looks pretty good. However, you're not going to want to put all 3 of them there because you're going to need someone to operate this catapult, which this thing is actually massive. It's hard to imagine a minifigure like pushing this around or whatever. It's way bigger than a minifigure. The minifigure's almost as big as the wheels. You can almost imagine Dogshank using this, so I guess that's something. But they do a decent job of making it look good. Very sturdy with the Technic beams that are used there. Very Technic-y build, actually, more than I was anticipating. Like the way they do the wheels for the back, and it only has 1 wheel in the front. Stickers there to add some detail, as well as this, which I think is my favorite part of the little catapult build. You got this cow skull piece, which I didn't have any of, and that's used as kind of like the front of the catapult. I think it's one of these big catapult bucket pieces, but you can take this, and they include 3 of these that you can use, and 1 can be shot at a time, and you just go like that, and you can get a decent little arc there. Let's see where we can get it to hit. Oh, we got it all the way up to above the view there, so pretty good. It works well and looks decent. But the real reason to get this set is this dragon build here. This is pretty cool. You can see we got a very nice organic shape for the head, which very important part to nail on these dragon builds. And I think they did a great job with this one. You got the mouth that opens up. I like the way they did the eyes. I think that is something that's really nice. 1 little sticker up on the top. That's the only sticker on the entire dragon. There's more of them on the Sky Pirate side builds. But they use this Chima piece here, which is kind of like a weapon or whatever, a claw. That's important feature here. You got 3 horns on the back. I like the way they use the jade blades and the steer horns, though. And this, whoops, if I don't break it, is on one of these ratcheted joints, so you can move that there. You can also twist it around there because the ratcheted joint is one of the Technic pin joints. But in addition to that, there's also a ball joint here and here, so you can kind of get some really nice organic poses there if you don't pull the ratchet joint right off. So you can get some good shapes like that, dynamic motion and all that. It looks pretty good. You do have this, or these reins here, which if we zoom out, they go all the way up to this handlebar, which means that you can put it right there and you can make it look like Lloyd's holding the reins without actually having to put them in his hands, which is nice because that's always kind of difficult to do. Just kind of coming around here, I'm going to have to do some crazy camera motions because of these massive wings, except I really don't have to because you can fold them up, and as good as they look when they're all out like that, fold it up, you can kind of store it, you know, and it will crease a little bit, the fabric, but not, you know, significant hard fold creases. Lloyd has a nice little chair. It would have been nice if he got a back for it, but I like this lamp that's on there. His minifigure head, one of these paint rollers, and a tassel. And back there he has a little soda can, which the can isn't printed, but the top is. And up front here, I like how they do this torso section of the dragon. You got these gold scales, which look good, and then you have big arms on the side to give it kind of some shoulder muscle definition. Kind of a little weird, but once you get used to it, I think it looks really good. The legs, you know, standard leg motion, moves in and out and back and forth. Gonna not mess around with that too much because I don't want to make the video too long. But you also got the nice white claws, which, you know, contrast nicely. And then in the back, some nice green. The tail, the first two joints are ratcheted, and then this whole back section is ball joints. They're both the same, just mirrored, and you have some stud shooters which you can shoot off on each end of the tail. You can also kind of bring it in to kind of make it one nice little, or one basically standard looking tail, kinda. You can make it look like one tail, and then it can split apart into two. But the real remarkable thing about this dragon, makes it stand out, are these wings. First off, if you look at the underneath, if you twist them around, because they're on ball joints, you get this really nice gold, like gold leaf finish on it, which looks great. You know, that's a really neat touch to have on here. And you fold them in, and you kind of don't see the gold as much, so I guess that's kind of cool. Sometimes it'll fold the opposite direction, though, which is a little weird. But on the top, you can see it's still not even just plain. It's printed to have that kind of pattern, just not shiny. It's just, you know, lighter green and a darker green. So, it looks really cool. And it would have been nice if I could figure out how to fit the legs on there, but since it is a two-legged dragon, it does kind of sometimes fall over if you don't do it right. And the other thing is, it's a little bit hard because you get friction adders on the wings, so it's kind of hard to pose them sometimes. But for the most part, I think it works well. It's a little weird, the top view from the wings, because it's got all these things on there, but that's needed to secure the fabric. And then you do have these little claws here, which kind of represent maybe like hands. And you can kind of move them if you want. But I think overall, it's a really just impressive looking dragon. And definitely a very cool build. So let's take a look at the few figures that were included. Alright, so the two ninja included in the set are Lloyd himself, obviously, and Ghost Cole, which is kind of a nice surprise. Lloyd comes with a nice staff, which is pretty cool. It looks kind of like a wizard staff. Really nice build, actually. I like the way the gem fits in the telescope. Just looks nice. Cole comes with a sword. And if you look at their torsos and their legs, you can see nice detailing. Similar style throughout, especially on the back. And I'm not going to bother taking Lloyd's head off, but because it is his standard head. But Cole's head is pretty cool. It's got two different expressions. And there's the other one, nice happy smile. And the other side is nice and angry. So, there goes Lloyd. Because apparently you know. But it is interesting that they both use their rebooted masks in this set. You know, the mask and hair combo, because those kind of weren't used in the show during this season at all. They didn't ever look like this, but I think that even with that, you know, inaccuracy, it is nice to get their hairpiece, or their hair pieces more often, because, you know, they're useful. Like, you could just take off the mask, and they do this without the mask, you know, a decent amount of the time. But let's take a look at the Sky Pirate. And like Lloyd and Cole, these guys aren't too special. They're kind of the standard, you know, henchman style figures. They have the same torsos, so that's, you know, kind of interesting. The back's exactly the same. They do have different leg prints, though. However, I think that they're kind of just mirrored. Or no, I guess not. I guess they're kind of a little bit more different. But I believe that these, you know, combinations of legs appear in different sets. So there's nothing really special about that. And obviously both figures appear exactly like this in other sets. But Siren has a face which is kind of rare. And you can see two expressions there. Because she also appears in Jay's Elemental Dragon, but that is it. There's an exclusive version of her in some polybag, and then some other... no, I think that's it. I think it's just this and Jay's Dragon, so... A slightly rarer variant, so nice to get more variety in your pirate army. Bucko is just the standard, you know. He's got the bandana too. And Siren has the new pirate sword with the skull handle. But Bucko just has the old classic cutlass. Doubloon here is my favorite figure in this set. He only appears in the Raid Zeppelin other than this. And here he comes with a spear, which you can clip onto the back of this thing. There's a little clip right there. You can just stick your spear on there. When he has this nice, more powerful Sword of Souls, which is kind of a special weapon. I like that printed ninja face with Kai on there. And, you know, the blade is nice too. Just a nice, you know, piece. Nice collectible weapon. Looks nice and everything. And you can see on here that he is kind of interesting, different looking, because he's one of the more important characters in the show. You can see his torso is the same as Siren's, and his legs are too. So that's what that looks like. I'm not going to bother taking the shoulder armor off of him. Just going to show you that again. You can see, if you don't believe me, look, the back is also the same. But this armor piece is from the Stone Army sets, and it was recolored into dark green for him and Clancy and Flintlock in the second wave, you know, the Lighthouse Siege in this set. His face print is exclusive to this character, though, also appears in the Raid Zeppelin set. And if we turn it around, it's basically just flipped upside down, because that's how his mask works or whatever. Changes his mood and all that. Nice dark green samurai helmet and dark tan bucket handle. But that is all for... Alright, so here is the one and only Lloyd's Green NRG Dragon. And this set is pretty cool. This dragon is definitely up there with, you know, on my list of top favorite dragons of all time. Lego dragons, you know, just period. Not even simply in the Ninjago theme. I think this is a great looking dragon. There might be one that I almost like better. It's a kind of a tie between this and Master Blue Dragon. But, this is definitely a more impressive set overall, I think, because the side builds are actually better than I expected. The figures are all good, nothing exceptional, but you get three figures that aren't too common, you know, Ghost Cole, Siren, and Doubloon. Obviously Siren doesn't matter that much, but, you know, Doubloon and Ghost Cole are nice to have, and Lloyd and the other figures are, you know, good for what they are. You get a nice little catapult here, which works well and looks pretty good. You know. Okay, maybe it doesn't work too well, but there we go. That was better. But the little Sky Pirate side build over here isn't that great, but you know, if you ever have any second thoughts about this set, all you need to do is turn the wings over, and then you'll realize that it's not a bad set at all. Really like those pearl gold or metallic gold wings. I think that is probably the single best part of the set. But overall, really great. Definitely highly recommended. And especially when it's already a good deal at $50, but it's been on sale all over the place for like $33 very frequently. So if you can get it for $33, then or even $30, which I've seen it in places, then it's really just a fantastic deal. So definitely would recommend picking this up, especially if you see it on sale. So hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you guys think of this set. I did a live build a while back if you want to go check that out. Didn't go perfectly because for some reason my computer crashed in the middle. But, you can check it out anyway. And I'll see you guys all later. Bye, everyone.